Chosen one, stop for a moment. Yes, you. Heaven is watching closely. The silence you felt lately wasn't absence, it was observation. God was measuring the posture of your heart, and now, the report has reached the throne. You passed the test. You didn't just survive what came against you, you overcame it with grace. Every tear you shed, every time you refused to quit, every time you whispered, "I still trust you," when everything collapsed. Those moments became proof that your faith was not shallow. You thought it was punishment, but it was preparation. The weight you carried was never meant to break you, it was shaping your spirit into something unshakable. The delay was heaven's way of making sure your heart could hold the promise that's about to come. When others doubted, you remained steady. When people mocked your silence, God applauded your discipline. Your journey was not random. Every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer, every closed door was part of a divine assessment. You were being examined not in how loud you worshipped, but in how deeply you trusted. Heaven took note when you stayed kind in betrayal, when you chose forgiveness over revenge, when you kept your faith quiet but strong. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 5, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act." That verse now lives in your story. You committed your way even when the road was dark. You trusted even when no sign appeared. And now, the same God who watched you walk through the fire is about to bring you into the fulfillment of what He promised. He will act swiftly, visibly, undeniably. The test was never about your talent or your strength. It was about your heart. While others wanted recognition, you wanted relationship. While others sought to be seen, you sought to be faithful. God saw that. And heaven is not silent anymore. There is movement in the spirit realm because your obedience has triggered release. You are not called to blend in. You are called to stand out, refined by trials, shaped by surrender, marked by grace. And now, the oil of favor that comes only through endurance is pouring over you. You don't have to force doors open anymore. They will recognize the authority you carry. This message isn't hype, it's confirmation. You were being watched all along, and the verdict is clear: approved, trusted, chosen. The same God who allowed the storm is now commanding peace over your season. The same silence that tested you is about to speak blessing over your life. So lift your spirit, straighten your back. The test was not wasted. The waiting was not in vain. Heaven has paused to announce it. You are stepping into divine recognition. Now, take a prophetic step of faith. Comment 7 below as a sign that the test is complete and the new chapter has begun. And if this word speaks to your spirit, like, share and subscribe so that others may awaken to their calling. Heaven has seen your endurance, and the record now reads: faithful under fire, proven in purity, chosen for glory. Chosen one. What you went through was not random. It was an unseen examination. Every disappointment, every delay, every moment when you questioned, "Why me?" was a carefully crafted question from heaven. You were sitting for a spiritual test, and though no one around you saw it, God did. The test wasn't about how strong you looked, but how surrendered your heart remained. You didn't realize it at the time, but heaven was studying your reactions. When they betrayed you, heaven leaned in closer. When they forgot you, the angels took notes. Would you still believe when blessings were withheld? Would you still pray when the answers seemed delayed? Every time you stayed faithful instead of bitter, a page turned in heaven's record. You were being refined, not rejected. This hidden examination was necessary. Without it, the weight of your next season would have crushed you. God doesn't promote without testing, and He doesn't test without purpose. What you called suffering was actually a spiritual evaluation, a proving ground for glory. You were being watched, not to be punished, but to be trusted. The unseen grading of your heart has been completed, and heaven's verdict has been sealed with favor. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 10-9. The Lord, search the heart and test the mind, to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. Those words now echo over your life. The search has been completed, the test has been passed. The fruit of your deeds, your quiet mercy, your unseen forgiveness. Your steady faith is now about to speak louder than your pain ever did. When God examines you, He doesn't look at your achievements, He looks at your responses. You proved that your heart wasn't for sale. You didn't bend under pressure, and you didn't let bitterness stain your spirit. The test was subtle, the conversation that tempted you to gossip, the opportunity that tested your integrity, the relationship that asked you to compromise. You may have thought those were coincidences, but they were divine checkpoints. And every time you chose righteousness, heaven recorded it as victory. It's no small thing to stay pure when corruption surrounds you. It's no small thing to stay kind when the world grows cruel. God saw that when you wanted to defend yourself but stayed silent. He wrote past. When you wanted to give up but kept believing, He wrote approved. When you gave even though you had little, He wrote faithful. These hidden moments carried more weight than any public act could. This was not an exam of intellect but of integrity. And now that you've been proven trustworthy in the shadows, heaven is preparing to expose you to the light. You have been tested for promotion, and your results qualify you for the next dimension of purpose. No teacher tests a student forever. The exam ends, and results are revealed. Your test has ended, and what you will see next is divine confirmation. The waiting was never wasted, it was documentation. The heavens now hold your record of obedience, and God Himself is pleased. Chosen one. The weight you carried was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to distinguish you. There is a difference between those who complain under pressure and those who are transformed by it. You are the latter. Heaven trusted you with a heavier load because your spirit could hold it. What others called misfortune was actually God's strength training program for your destiny. Every sleepless night, every betrayal, every silent prayer was forming something inside you that comfort could never create. Pain became the chisel that carved the warrior in you. The loneliness you felt wasn't punishment. It was isolation for revelation. When people walked away, and it wasn't rejection, it was divine reduction, removing the ones who couldn't handle your elevation. You were carrying spiritual weight. And though it exhausted your body, it built your faith. You learned that true strength is not found in how loudly you shout, but in how quietly you endure. You learned to trust without evidence, to love without return, to give without applause, and through it all, heaven recorded every silent victory, according to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 5, verses 3 and 4. We glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope. That is your story in one verse. Every hardship produced endurance. Every tear produced character. And that character now holds hope strong enough to shake the gates of darkness. You became a vessel of endurance. Someone the enemy cannot break anymore because you have already been through the breaking. The weight you carried was sacred. It pressed out the pride, the fear, the doubt, and left only purity. You are not fragile anymore. You are forged. The same fire that scared you has now become your strength. You have passed through the furnace and come out as gold that glows in both darkness and daylight. You often wondered, Why did I have to go through all of this? The answer is simple: because heaven needed to prove that you could carry what others would drop. You were chosen to bear more so that when the blessing comes, you can sustain it. God does not give crowns to those who haven't carried crosses on. You bore yours with grace. And now the sound of shifting begins around you. Every time you refuse to give up, something in the unseen realm broke in your favor. No, you didn't realize it, but your persistence was prophesying your future. The heaviness was a key. Each step under pressure was unlocking the next door. And now, you're standing at the threshold of what those trials were preparing you for. Heaven says the wait was never wasted. What tried to bury you became the soil where your strength took root. What tried to silence you only made your voice carry further. The scars you have are not signs of defeat. They are signatures of survival. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, type "I am ready." When you write those 3 words, you declare to heaven and to your own soul that you have graduated from the season of breaking and stepped into the season of becoming. This is not about hype, it is about alignment. You are acknowledging that the weight you once feared has built the warrior God always saw in you. The burden that once bowed your shoulders has become the wings that will lift you. The test of endurance has been completed. You are not just a survivor, you are a vessel forged by divine fire. Chosen one, you remember the silence, the long nights when prayer felt like it vanished into the air, the moments when heaven seemed distant and every sign of comfort disappeared. That silence was not neglect, it was a sacred classroom. God was not absent. He was watching to see if your heart would still believe when your senses could no longer feel him. The silence was a mirror. It revealed what applause could never show. When the noise of encouragement faded, the real depth of your faith surfaced. That is where heaven saw the truth that even without miracles, even without clarity, you still chose to trust. The unseen world witnessed it. The angels wrote it down. You remained faithful without evidence. In that quietness, heaven was speaking a different language, one that only the tested can understand. God's silence was a divine strategy to teach you to hear his whisper. He was showing you that faith does not need constant reassurance. It grows strongest in stillness, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20. And surely I am with you always, even to the end of the age. That promise never expired. Though you felt forgotten, you were surrounded. When you thought you were walking alone, his presence was beside you, silent but steadfast. You mistook his stillness for absence, but he was closer in the silence than in the noise. The divine stillness refined your hearing. You learned to recognize his presence in subtle ways, the peace that covered your fear, the gentle strength that rose when you wanted to quit, the sudden sense of calm in chaos. Those were the fingerprints of a God who never left. When heaven goes silent, it's not rejection, it's recognition. It means you've matured to a level where you can walk by trust, not sight. Silence is the language of those who have graduated from needing constant signs. It's the communication of confidence from God. I can trust you to stand without reminders. And that silence protected you. It shielded you from distractions, from false voices, from counterfeit guidance. You didn't see it, but while you waited for an answer, God was fighting battles you never knew existed. He was rearranging timelines, aligning paths, removing people who couldn't go with you. The silence wasn't empty. It was active. You see, chosen ones are not trained in comfort. They are trained in the wilderness. You walked through deserts where others would have built tombs, but you kept walking. That silence turned you into someone who doesn't panic when heaven is quiet, because now you know the silence of God is the sound of trust. There's a sacred power that comes after you've survived divine quiet. You stop depending on signs and start depending on His nature. You no longer need proof that He is working. You just know that He is. That knowing is what separates those who visit His presence from those who carry it. So yes, the silence was long. It stretched your patience. It tested your endurance. It stripped your comfort. But it left you stronger, wiser, and more dangerous to darkness. You now walk with the quiet authority of someone who has heard God even when He didn't speak. Heaven's silence was never meant to hurt you. It was meant to crown you with understanding. Now, you stand on the other side of that stillness, carrying peace where confusion once lived. And when you face silence again, you won't fear it. You'll recognize it as the voice of trust. Chosen one. The breaking you went through was never destruction, it was divine design. Every crack in your soul became an opening for heaven's light to pour in. You thought your heart shattered, but really, it was heaven carving space for more glory to dwell. The pieces that fell away were never meant to stay. They were parts of you that couldn't carry the next blessing. Brokenness is not a curse. It's the sacred soil where oil begins to flow. No olive ever yields its fragrance until it is crushed. And you, chosen one, have been pressed in secret so that your life might release a scent that fills the world with hope. The apostle wrote in the letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 8, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair." That is the rhythm of your journey. You were pressed, but not broken beyond repair. Confused, but never abandoned. God was near, bending close over your wounds, whispering promises while you could only weep. He gathered every tear, not to count your pain, but to weigh your faith. And what He found was gold refined in fire. From that fire, something holy was born: compassion. Now your pain carries purpose. What once silenced you now gives you a voice that can calm storms in others. You are a lighthouse built from shattered glass, and your light helps lost ships find their way home. If this message has touched your heart, let your response be simple and sincere. Click like, share, or subscribe not as an obligation, but as a way of breathing life into the same flame that once warmed you. Every gesture is a small breeze that carries light farther into the dark. And if your spirit ever feels moved to donate, see it not as payment, but as pouring oil into a lamp that still burns for souls who have not yet seen dawn. Your generosity becomes a whisper of grace traveling beyond your reach, lighting unseen rooms, steadying unseen hands. There is no pressure here, no price, no demand, only invitation. The giving of the heart is never forced. It flows like water from a well that overflows with gratitude. You give not because you must, but because you have seen light and wish to let it travel. When you support, you are not funding words, you are fueling restoration. You become part of heaven's echo, helping another wounded one hear. You, too, can heal. Every seed of kindness you plant returns as fruit in someone's midnight prayer. Remember this: the hands that once trembled under weight now carry oil for others. Your breaking was the press that made you overflow. Heaven is proud of the fragrance you carry, for it was not bought, it was birthed. And tonight, as your heart listens, the Father smiles and says, "You made beauty out of ashes." Like, share, subscribe, or give only if your soul feels that gentle pull. For in doing so, you become part of a divine chain reaction light passed from one candle to another until the whole night glows. Chosen one, heaven has whispered your name. The season of silence has ended, and the sound of divine approval now fills the air around you. What was once unseen is now being celebrated in realms above. The angels remember your nights of quiet faith, the mornings you rose when everything in you wanted to stay down. The records have been opened, and beside your name, a word has been written in light faithful. There is movement in heaven's courts. You have been weighed and found steadfast. The tears that once felt forgotten have become keys unlocking doors no human hand could touch. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion has been transformed into a song of remembrance. Heaven does not forget endurance. Heaven responds to purity. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16. Then those who feared the Lord spoke with one another, and the Lord listened and heard them. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name. Chosen one, your name is in that scroll. Your obedience is not buried in time, it is recorded in eternity. The whispers of your prayers echo in the chambers of heaven. What was once your struggle is now your testimony, and heaven has approved your heart. This is not the time to shrink back. You have been seen, marked, and set apart. You are not just surviving anymore, you are carrying a fragrance of divine trust. The atmosphere around you has shifted because heaven's attention has shifted toward you. Where there was delay, there will now be acceleration. Where there was confusion, there will now be clarity. You may not feel the celebration, but it is happening. Angels are moving in alignment with your next assignment. Heaven is preparing rooms that carry your name. You thought your quiet obedience went unnoticed. But in truth, it became the sound that moved heaven to act. The oil of recognition now rests on your spirit. It's not pride, it's the signature of heaven's confidence in you. You were faithful when no one saw. Now, you will be fruitful where everyone can see. The same places where you felt invisible will now be the very platforms God uses to reveal His glory through your life. And as this new season unfolds, heaven gives you a sign, a prophetic symbol of completion and alignment. As an act of agreement, type the number 888 in the comments. It represents new beginnings, divine overflow, and infinite grace. When you type it, don't see it as superstition, see it as declaration. You are telling heaven, I am aligned with what you are doing. Your comment becomes a small act of faith, a spiritual signature that says, I receive what is next. Heaven responds to obedience, even in its smallest form. Chosen one. You are no longer being tested, you are being trusted. The whisper of approval that once hovered above you has become a roar of recognition. You have stood when it was hardest, and now the ground beneath your feet will testify of your endurance. Heaven is proud. The scroll has your name. The story continues with glory written across every line. Chosen one. The purest thing you have ever offered to God was not your success, it was your heart. The world measures greatness by achievement, but heaven measures by motive. When no one clapped, when no one believed, when no one thanked you, still you chose goodness. That quiet choice to stay kind while bleeding is what moved the heart of God. You were surrounded by reasons to grow cold, yet you stayed warm. You had every excuse to turn bitter, yet you chose forgiveness. While others allowed pain to harden them, you let it humble you. And because of that, you carry something rare in this world, a heart that still feels, still hopes, still believes. The Apostle Paul wrote in the letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That verse rests over your life now. Every time you chose mercy over revenge, you planted a seed. Every kind word spoken when you were hurting was a seed. Every time you refused to speak evil when you were wronged, another seed went into the soil. Heaven watched it all. And though it seemed like nothing was changing, the ground beneath you was quietly preparing a harvest. You see, purity is power. It's not about being flawless, it's about staying soft when life tries to make you hard. The greatest battles are not always against darkness outside, but against the temptation to let darkness live inside. You fought that battle and won. You didn't just survive evil, you overcame it by remaining good. God saw your restraint. He saw the moment you wanted to speak but stayed silent. He saw when you wanted to quit but kept believing. He saw the hidden kindnesses, the silent prayers for those who hurt you, the gentle words when you could have used sharp ones. Those were the invisible victories that turned the tide in your favor. It's easy to love when love is returned. It's holy to love when love is refused. And you did that. You reflected the very character of Christ, the kind of love that doesn't depend on conditions. That's why your heart carries weight in heaven now. It's not the loud faith that impressed God, but the quiet consistency. The purity of your heart became a weapon the enemy could not understand. When hatred came, you met it with grace. When rejection came, you answered with peace. That confused hell itself, because nothing terrifies darkness more than a heart that refuses to stop shining. Now, that same purity that protected you will begin to promote you, not through force or manipulation, but through divine recognition. People will begin to sense something different about you, a peace that cannot be explained, a strength that feels ancient, a light that doesn't fade. You won't have to announce it, it will announce you. Keep that heart pure, chosen one. Guard it, not in fear, but in wisdom. It is the wellspring of your destiny. From it flows discernment, favor, creativity, and peace. Do not let the world pollute what God has refined. The season you are walking into will test your humility again. But this time not through lack, through abundance. When favor increases, keep that same gentle spirit. When blessings multiply, remember the nights that shaped your compassion. For it is your heart, not your success, that heaven is impressed with. And the Father whispers again, softly but surely, you have my heart, and I have yours. Chosen one. Something in the unseen world has shifted. You may not fully perceive it yet, but the air around you feels different, lighter, alive, purposeful. The heaviness that once clung to your days is lifting. The storm that tested your endurance has begun to pass, and sunlight is breaking through the clouds of confusion. You have stepped into a divine turning point. The test has ended, and heaven has begun to respond. The same God who seemed silent is now rearranging everything in your favor. What was once delay is now alignment. The resistance you felt was never meant to stop you, it was meant to sharpen your discernment. You have grown into someone who can sense the subtle winds of God's movement before they become visible storms of change. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 9. Then the Lord your God will make you most prosperous in all the work of your hands and in the fruit of your body. And the Lord will again delight in you and make you prosperous, just as he delighted in your ancestors. That delight is happening now. It's quiet, like dawn before sunrise, but it's real. God's favor is awakening around you, not loud, not forced, but steady and undeniable. The soil you watered with tears is beginning to show signs of life. The very ground that once held your pain will soon yield your harvest. What you feel right now, the subtle peace, the sudden clarity, the renewed strength, is heaven confirming that the shift is not imaginary. You have crossed an invisible threshold. The test was the bridge, and you've made it across. Every unseen prayer became a stepping stone leading you here. The spirit realm responds to faith like the earth responds to rain. The moment you refuse to quit, The atmosphere started to change. Your obedience created ripples that moved through realms beyond sight. The chains that once bound your momentum have been broken not by striving, but by surrender. Even the angels assigned to your path are repositioning. They move with divine precision, clearing away obstacles you didn't even know existed. What felt like random blessings are actually strategic openings. Conversations, encounters, and ideas will begin aligning as if by accident, but you will know they are heaven's orchestration. You are not who you were before the storm. Something in your spirit has matured. You no longer panic when things take time. You no longer chase after what runs. You've learned the rhythm of divine timing, and because of that, favor will now flow without force. This shift is more than emotional, it's prophetic. Heaven is transitioning you from hiddenness to manifestation. You've been prepared in private. Now comes the unveiling. But don't rush it. Let it unfold naturally, like flowers blooming in the morning light. What God is building through you requires stability as much as visibility. There will be signs. People who once dismissed you will feel drawn to you again, sensing a new authority in your words. Opportunities will reappear, ones that once slipped away, but this time, you will be ready. You will notice how effortlessly things begin to move, not because life suddenly got easy, but because the resistance has served its purpose. The old weight no longer fits you. The old fear no longer owns you. You have outgrown everything that once kept you small, and now heaven is smiling, for the shift you feel is confirmation of what the unseen world already knows you have passed. And now, you are rising. Walk gently into this new season. The wind that once opposed you now carries you forward. The spiritual atmosphere has changed because you have chosen one. You have walked through the shadows long enough. The time of concealment is coming to an end. What God formed in secret will now begin to emerge before the eyes of many. The world is about to witness what heaven already knew, that you were chosen, not because of talent, but because of truth. You were hidden not to be forgotten, but to be prepared. Like seeds buried in silence, you were planted deep where no one could see. But the burial was never a grave, it was incubation. And now, what was pressed beneath the surface is breaking through with unstoppable life. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 19, declare, "For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." Creation has been waiting for this moment for you. The pain, the process, the long nights, all of it was heaven's way of preparing a vessel that could carry glory without pride. You were being refined so that when the light hit you, it would not blind you. You were being shaped to reveal not yourself, but the heart of the one who sent you. There is a holy unveiling happening. Opportunities that once ignored you will start to recognize your name. Doors that refused to open will begin to swing wide, not because of your effort, but because heaven has signed your release. You won't need to force attention. Divine timing will do the speaking. Remember, revelation does not mean performance. It means alignment. This is not about becoming famous. It's about becoming visible to those who need your light. Your purpose will no longer hide behind pain. The very things that once disqualified you will now become your credentials. You carry wisdom that was earned in the wilderness, and people will be drawn to that authenticity. Do not fear visibility. No, you are not stepping into pride, you are stepping into purpose. When God reveals you, it's not to show off your strength, but to showcase His faithfulness. The testimony you carry is not for applause, but for awakening. Many have walked through storms similar to yours, but few made it out with their purity intact. You did. And now your endurance will become someone else's encouragement. Let humility remain your anchor. The same silence that once trained your faith will now protect your focus. When favor arrives, don't forget the furnace that shaped you. Let gratitude guide every word, and let compassion temper every victory. The unveiling will feel sudden to others, but you will know it's been years in the making. You are not an overnight success, you are a divine revelation, revealed at the appointed hour. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment, "Show me, Lord." These 3 words are not a request for fame, they are a surrender of visibility to divine purpose. You are saying, "Reveal through me what you've been forming within me." When you write it, heaven recognizes your readiness. The curtain is lifting. The hidden vessel is stepping forward. Not for applause, but for assignment. You are not emerging to prove yourself, you are emerging to point back to the one who called you. Chosen one, it's time to be revealed. Chosen one, the tables are turning. What once seemed like an endless season of loss is now shifting into divine reversal. The same hands that once tore you down will soon witness your rising. The same ground where you wept will be the stage where you rejoice. Heaven has begun the quiet work of restoration, not rushed, not loud, but sure as sunrise. There is something sacred about reversal. It's not revenge, it's redemption. God is not giving you back what you lost. He is giving you better, deeper, purer. Every injustice became a seed, and heaven has been watering it with mercy. Now, shoots of blessing are breaking through the soil of yesterday's pain, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. From the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." Those words are not poetic comfort, they are divine guarantee. The years you thought were wasted have been secretly stored in heaven's treasury. God has not forgotten a single sacrifice, a single silent act of goodness. He's been collecting them like pearls, stringing them together to form a crown that only time could reveal. Your story is shifting. Where doors once slammed shut, they now begin to open with quiet ease. People who dismissed you will wonder how peace surrounds you so completely. It's not luck, it's restoration. The author of your life is rewriting what pain tried to erase. And in this holy moment, as you listen, let your heart respond naturally. If these words have watered something inside you, let it overflow. Like, share, or subscribe, not out of duty, but as a way of passing light forward. Every click becomes a ripple of encouragement, a spark that may find someone still sitting in the dark you once knew. And if you ever feel led to donate, do it the way rain gives itself to the earth, freely, quietly, without announcement. Let it be the soft act of gratitude from one who knows how far they've come. Your giving is not a requirement. It is a reflection. It's like leaving a candle behind on the path you've already walked, so another traveler can find their way through the night. No one is watching. No one is keeping score. When you give from the heart, even a small drop becomes a wave in heaven's ocean. The blessing doesn't leave you empty, or it multiplies what's already within you. That's the beauty of divine generosity. It's never transactional, only transformational. You have walked through storms with nothing but faith, and now you are stepping into sunlight that feels soft but sure. The same world that once misunderstood you will now see grace woven through your every step. Not because you tried to prove your worth, but because God Himself is unveiling your victory. Restoration is not a single moment, it's a melody. It plays quietly at first, then rises until even your shadow begins to dance with it. And you, chosen one, are part of that song. So if this message stirs something gentle inside you, don't resist it. Like, share, subscribe, or if you feel led, Give not because you have to, but because you want to keep the sound of hope alive for someone else. Every act, no matter how small, keeps heaven's melody playing in another heart. The tables are turning and the music of restoration has begun. Let your soul hum along. Chosen one, you now wear something invisible yet unmistakable, the mantle of the approved. It's not stitched with gold or decorated with jewels, yet it carries a weight heavier than any crown of men. This mantle cannot be earned by ambition or bought by sacrifice. It is given by heaven to those who endured testing without losing tenderness. You are different now. The same storms that once made you tremble now bow before your peace. The same shadows that once frightened you now flee from the authority that rests upon you. You have become a living testimony that obedience is never wasted. Heaven's favor sits on you quietly but powerfully, like oil that cannot be washed off. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19. Verse 19, Elijah went up to Elisha and threw his cloak around him. That moment in Scripture was not a ceremony. It was a transfer of trust. The cloak was a symbol of calling, a tangible sign that heaven had chosen someone to continue divine work. That is what has happened to you. The same unseen hand that once tested your patience has now placed upon you a spiritual garment, the mantle of divine confidence. This mantle is not for show, it is for service. It carries weight, yes, but also warmth. It does not elevate you above others, it roots you deeper into purpose. You will notice that when you speak now, your words carry a quiet gravity. People will feel comfort or conviction without knowing why. It's because heaven's authority now moves through your tone, your presence, your silence. Wearing this mantle means you have been trusted with influence that doesn't need to announce itself. Your power is subtle. Like gravity, it simply draws things into alignment. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer plead, you proclaim. You no longer question if you're worthy, you walk as one who knows that worth is not earned but bestowed. Still, the mantle comes with responsibility. It must be carried with humility. For every chosen one who wears it, pride becomes the greatest threat. Remember the wilderness, the breaking, the silence. Those were your safeguards against arrogance. Keep them close as reminders that every ounce of glory belongs to the giver, not the vessel. You may find that old circles no longer recognize you. That's because the frequency of your spirit has changed. You're vibrating on heaven's wavelength now. Don't force understanding, just walk in quiet confidence. Your assignment will draw the right people to you, those who can see the light without demanding proof. This mantle is also protection. It covers you when spiritual warfare intensifies. It marks you in the unseen as untouchable territory, sealed by endurance, guarded by grace. The enemy knows the difference between those who speak about faith and those who have lived it. You, chosen one, have lived it. That's why the mantle fits you perfectly. So walk with stillness, but walk tall. You carry heaven's seal now. Every step you take bears the echo of divine endorsement. You are not just approved, you are appointed. The mantle you wear is not temporary. It will follow you into every new season, whispering to the darkness. This one belongs to God. Chosen one, the time has come to move. You have been still long enough, waiting, listening, healing, but now the wind of heaven is shifting behind you. This is your activation moment, the threshold between what was promised and what will now unfold. The tests have ended, the mantle has been placed, and heaven is whispering one simple word. Go. The spiritual realm responds to movement, not hesitation. You are being called to step, not into chaos, but into clarity. What was once confusing will now begin to make sense as your obedience opens paths that reasoning could never build. Heaven is not asking you to understand, it's asking you to move. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision awaits its appointed time. Though it lingers, wait for it, it will certainly come and will not delay. That appointed time is now. The waiting has ripened into readiness. You are no longer the person who first received the promise. You have been refined to carry it. Heaven waited until your heart matched your calling. The delay was not denial. It was divine alignment. You have been given assignments, small nudges, inner convictions, ideas that keep returning to your mind. These are not coincidences, they are heaven's invitations. The moment you act, power flows. The door doesn't open before obedience, it opens because of it. The activation may not come with thunder. It might begin quietly, a message to send, a prayer to speak aloud, a step of faith that makes no sense to the mind but burns in the heart. Trust that the same God who called you will also sustain you. You are stepping into a flow that will carry you further than your effort ever could. Chosen one, you are not starting from zero, you are starting from obedience. The difference is enormous. Obedience carries acceleration because it aligns you with divine rhythm. What took years before will now happen in moments. Not by striving, but by surrender. But before you step forward, make one small prophetic act of agreement. Type 999 in the comments. It represents completion before creation, the finishing of one assignment and the beginning of a new one. When you write it, you're declaring, I am ready to act. I'm not waiting for perfect timing. I'm moving with divine timing. This is not superstition, it's a spiritual signature. Heaven recognizes agreement in motion. When you type it, you're aligning your will with heaven's. You are saying, I accept the call. I trust the path. You will notice once you take that step, how the right people appear, how provision meets you on the road, how peace becomes confirmation. The invisible becomes visible only when the obedient move. That's how faith works. It fills the space between promise and manifestation. So breathe deeply. The season of watching has become the season of walking. The vision no longer waits, it welcomes you. Move gently, but move. The heavens have already gone ahead of you. The delay is over. The activation has begun. Chosen one. This next chapter carries something profound, your vindication. Heaven is turning every whisper, every mockery, every misunderstanding into evidence of God's favor. Those who once questioned your silence will now witness the sound of your restoration. You do not need to defend yourself. The outcome will do it for you. Vindication is not about proving others wrong, it's about proving God faithful. The pain you endured quietly was not ignored, it was collected. Every insult, every false accusation, every door slammed in your face became a stone in the altar of testimony that God is now building from your endurance. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. That weight of glory is beginning to rest on you now. It is the spiritual gravity that draws honor toward those who suffered righteously. People who once doubted your sincerity will sense something unexplainable about your peace. It's not pride, it's proof. Heaven's presence itself becomes your defense. The same voices that dismissed you will watch as God elevates you quietly, gracefully, without vengeance. This is divine justice, the kind that restores without bitterness. Your story is becoming a sermon without words. Every act of obedience that once seemed unseen is now being woven into a visible masterpiece. There is beauty in how heaven handles vindication. It doesn't humiliate your enemies, it humbles them. It teaches them about mercy through the way you rise. That's why you don't have to fight back. God's way of lifting you is so gentle that even those who opposed you will find themselves in awe, not shame. You will notice it soon in the way doors open with unexpected ease, in the way people who ignored your message now listen attentively, in the way honor seems to follow you into places where you were once forgotten. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual gravity in motion. Glory has weight, and it draws recognition toward its rightful owner. The journey was necessary. Without betrayal, you would never have discovered boundaries. Without misunderstanding, you would never have learned to rely on the voice of God alone. Without rejection, you would never have known the beauty of divine acceptance. Every wrong turn became a sacred detour to refinement. Your enemies have unknowingly become witnesses. Their disbelief will amplify your testimony. When they see you thriving, not in arrogance but in peace, they will have no choice but to acknowledge the hand that carried you. And that acknowledgement will be your silent vindication. This is the mystery of grace it restores with elegance. No harsh words, no retaliation, just elevation. You don't have to announce that you're rising. Your peace will make the announcement for you. Walk quietly into your redemption. Let gratitude, not pride, be your language. Let your composure preach louder than any defense could. For when heaven clears your name, the verdict is final. No rumor can undo what God has already confirmed. Chosen one, your name is safe in His hands. The same God who allowed the test now commands the testimony. You will not need to speak for yourself. Your transformation will speak for you. Vindication has begun, and the world will soon see what heaven has always known: you were never forsaken, only being prepared. Chosen one. This is the hour of reward. The long sowing season of hidden faithfulness has finally reached maturity. You may not have realized it, but every small act of obedience, every time you chose truth over convenience, love over bitterness, prayer over silence, was a seed. And now, those seeds have ripened. Heaven keeps perfect time, and your harvest has arrived. The Word of God declares in the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 18, "The one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward." Those words are the echo of what is now unfolding around you. The ground that once felt barren is responding. Your persistence has created a pattern of grace in motion. The things that once took great effort will begin to happen naturally. Because heaven is no longer testing you, it's rewarding you. The rewards of God do not always come wrapped in riches or recognition. Often they appear as peace that stays, clarity that doesn't fade, and strength that feels endless. You have gained something that money cannot buy: a settled spirit, a steady heart, a mind anchored in divine trust. That stability is your wealth. It's the treasure of those who endured without losing their faith. Still, there will be visible blessings too. Opportunities once withheld will now find their way to you. Favor will approach you like water finding its lowest point naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. It will not be forced, it will flow. The people meant to stand with you will recognize your spirit and come without hesitation. The right hands will extend at the right time, and every partnership will carry purpose. Understand this. Your reward is not random. It matches the measure of your obedience. You didn't just survive trials, you stayed soft in them. That softness has become strength. Now God can trust you with greater influence because your heart has proven immune to pride. The enemy worked hard to make you question if goodness was worth it. But your endurance silenced him. You have become living proof that righteousness still brings reward, that purity still wins, and that love still triumphs. The heavens celebrate you not for perfection, but for perseverance. You didn't lose your character in pursuit of comfort. You held on to truth when it cost you everything. You may find this next season full of surprises, answers coming quicker, prayers returning fulfilled, connections that feel divinely orchestrated. Don't rush to label them miracles. Call them what they are, rewards of endurance. God is faithful to remember what others forget. But remember also, blessings are not trophies, they are tools. Each one comes with assignment attached. When you receive favor, use it to lift others. When you find increase, let generosity follow. You have been trained to handle abundance without arrogance, and heaven trusts that you will treat every gift as stewardship, not status. This is your time to walk in quiet fullness. No need for announcement, no need for striving, just gratitude pure, steady gratitude that whispers, God, I see your hand in everything. Chosen one. This is not a temporary reward, it's the beginning of divine momentum. What starts now will not fade. It will grow, just as you have grown. Every tear has become a river, every wound a window, every prayer a seed. Now the harvest comes, pressed down, overflowing, and marked by peace that cannot be shaken. Your reward has found you, an unchosen one. Heaven bends close now, the crown is being lowered. You have walked through the fire and not been consumed. You have faced storms and learned to sing through thunder. The time of testing has become the time of crowning. This crown is not made of gold or decorated with jewels. It is woven from obedience, tears, and love that refuse to die. You are not being rewarded for perfection. You are being honored for endurance. This crown represents every moment you chose faith when fear offered an easier path. It's heaven's way of saying, you did not break. You believed. As the Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to Timothy chapter 4, verse 8, Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge one, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. That crown of righteousness now rests invisibly upon your spirit. It shines with quiet authority, glowing with every act of love and every whispered yes. You may not see it, but heaven does. It radiates wherever you walk, marking you as one who stayed faithful when others fled. If this word breathes peace into you, let your gratitude express itself freely. Like, share, or subscribe not as habit, but as an offering of light. Every gesture becomes a spark that drifts outward, perhaps landing where someone still sits in the dark you once knew. When you share, you become a messenger. When you subscribe, you become part of the echo that keeps hope alive. If your heart stirs to donate, think of it as pouring a drop of oil into the lamp that lights the night. Your giving isn't demanded, it's invited, like the soft rain that nourishes unseen gardens. Give only if it feels like peace, never like pressure. You are not paying for a message, you are planting it, letting its warmth travel beyond your reach. And if you wish, leave a comment, just a few honest words from your heart. Think of it as placing a small stone of gratitude on heaven's altar, a silent testimony saying, I was here, and I was moved. Someone else may read it and find courage in your honesty. Every act, liking, sharing, commenting, giving, is a ripple of kindness. You are helping the message that once healed you to reach another wandering heart. None of this is a demand, it is a choice, a quiet and beautiful one. Remember, chosen one. The crown you wear is not for display, it is for distribution. Each time you share hope, a jewel is added. Each time you give, another ray of light gleams from it. Heaven smiles as you listen. The crown fits perfectly because it was shaped by every trial you survived. Like, share, comment, subscribe, or give only as your spirit leads. For every act done in love becomes another glimmer in the eternal crown God placed upon you. Heaven watches as you stand beneath the weight of quiet glory. You no longer chase validation, you radiate it. Every breath becomes worship, every step carries blessing. The same ground that once felt heavy now feels holy beneath your feet. You have become the answered prayer of your own past. And as the heavens whisper your name, light trails behind you. Not a blinding light, but a soft one, steady, guiding, tender. You are living proof that endurance turns to elegance and pain into purpose. Walk gently, crowned soul. Your journey now sings where words cannot reach. Chosen one, heaven is rejoicing. The courts of angels resound with songs that carry your name through light. The journey you thought had broken you has become heaven's celebration. Every scar on your heart glows now as proof that grace is stronger than grief. You made it through what others did not by luck, but by love that refused to die. The prophet Isaiah once declared, in chapter 61, verse 3, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Those words have taken shape in you. The ashes of your past have turned into beauty subtle but sacred. The heaviness that once clung to your chest has been replaced by peace that feels almost weightless. The oil of joy runs through your spirit like golden sunlight, anointing you for the life ahead. You have become evidence that divine exchange is real. Heaven celebrates not because you are perfect, but because you remained pliable. You allowed the potter to keep molding you when others hardened in the fire. You let tears become the water that softened your clay. Every time you said, God, I still trust you, another fragment of the old you melted away. Now, the shape that remains is pure, beautiful, and purposeful. In heaven's eyes, this celebration is not loud, it is radiant. Angels do not shout, they glow. They carry joy like torches, lighting up realms because one soul on earth chose faith over fear. You have become that light. The heavenly realm dances to the rhythm of your endurance. You may not hear it, but the sound of rejoicing surrounds you. The rhythm of heaven moves through your days in subtle ways, the sudden peace in the morning, the warmth of gratitude that appears from nowhere, the unexplainable strength that lifts you when you feel weary. These are the echoes of heaven's applause. You see, when one chosen rises, heaven celebrates because your victory breaks chains beyond your own life. The strength you've gained becomes light for others still walking through darkness. The endurance you built becomes encouragement they will borrow. You are not just surviving, you are multiplying freedom. This is what divine celebration looks like, not confetti and noise, but waves of peace and assurance that settle over your heart like sunlight over still water. Heaven's joy is not just around you, it's within you. You are in harmony with God's rhythm now, your heartbeat aligned with His. Take a moment to breathe that in. You are standing in the aftermath of grace. Every step that once felt painful has become a pathway paved with light. Every prayer that once felt unanswered has bloomed into a new form of wisdom. Heaven's celebration is not only for your victory, but for the transformation that happened within you. This is what it means to be celebrated by heaven, to be fully known and still fully loved. Every part of your journey has been redeemed. The fire did not consume you. It crowned you. Chosen one. Heaven sings softly now, not to announce your arrival, but to honor your endurance. The music has always been playing. Now your spirit can finally hear it. chosen one. This is the final turning of the page. You have come full circle from confusion to clarity, from breaking to becoming. The trials that once defined your tears now define your strength. You have not only survived the refining, you have become the flame itself, steady, pure, unshakable. The world will never look the same because you no longer walk as one who hopes to be chosen, you walk as one who knows they are. As the Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 126 and verse 5, "Those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy." Your reaping has begun, though it may not appear with fanfare. It arrives in the small, holy ways: peace that greets you in the morning, strength that surprises you at noon, laughter that returns at night without reason. Every seed of pain you buried has found resurrection. You no longer beg heaven for confirmation. Your very life has become the evidence. You have become unshakable not because the storm stopped, but because you learned to anchor your soul in trust. You no longer measure your worth by seasons or people. Your foundation is divine, and your roots run too deep for shifting winds. You know who holds your future, and that knowing has made you immovable. Now, your life itself preaches. Your silence carries authority. You do not need to convince anyone of your calling. The fragrance of endurance speaks for you. Those who meet you will sense it: peace that doesn't need proof, confidence that comes from communion. You are no longer defined by what happened to you, but by what survived in you. Every trial has become a tool, every loss a lantern. You see differently now. What once broke your heart now blesses it. You no longer resent the fire because you realize it introduced you to yourself, the version heaven always intended. The crown upon your spirit glows quietly, not as a symbol of superiority, but as proof that surrender wins. Do you feel it? The quiet steadiness that wasn't there before, the kind that doesn't need signs or voices to know that God is near? That is what unshakable feels like. It's not loud, not boastful, it's calm. You walk in storms with the serenity of someone who knows how this ends, with victory already written. You have crossed the threshold of transformation. No longer a student of storms. You have become a teacher of peace. Where you walk, light follows. Where you speak, strength awakens. You have become a carrier of calm in a world addicted to chaos. This is your new identity: not wounded, but wise; not waiting, but walking; not searching, but shining. You are the living evidence that God's promises are not distant, they are alive, breathing through people like you. Heaven calls you unshakable, and the earth will come to recognize that name, not through noise, but through the quiet authority of your being. You have been refined beyond recognition, but heaven has known you all along. Now walk forward with grace. The journey continues, but it no longer feels like a climb, it feels like a calling. You are not reaching for light, you are carrying it. The test is over, the crown is secure, and your spirit stands radiant beneath heaven's gaze. The story ends here, but your destiny does not. Chosen one. If these words have walked beside you through each season of your journey, then you already know it was never really about the script. It was about awakening something sacred inside you. What you felt while reading, that quiet warmth in your spirit, that soft trembling in your heart, that is heaven reminding you that you were never alone. Not once. You've come through darkness and turned it into dawn. The story has circled back to peace, and now your soul stands still in the light. If you found healing here, if even one sentence helped you breathe deeper or believe again, let your gratitude move freely. Like, share, or subscribe only if it feels true, like exhaling thankfulness into the world. Every simple gesture carries the echo of grace. a soft ripple that might reach someone else still sitting in their night. If your heart stirs to comment, let it be honest. Maybe a word, a line, a simple "I feel seen." Think of it as placing a pebble of light along the road for another soul to find when they pass by. Your voice becomes part of the song that continues long after this moment fades. And if ever you feel led to donate, let it come like rain, natural, gentle, freely given. You're not paying for words, you're fueling the flame that keeps messages of hope alive. Each offering, no matter its size, is oil added to the lamp that glows in unseen corners of the world. There is no demand, only invitation. Every act done in love expands light. Walk on now, crowned soul. Let your peace travel where my words cannot. The story lives on through you.